another video, and what am I going to do with you guys today? Well, I'm going to have a bit of a chat with you, but it's more of a tag video really. So this video is about music. Now, I'm a massive fan of video game music in a variety of incarnations. My favourite type of songs, generally speaking, outside of games, are usually kind of cheesy songs, 80s, rock, all that kind of stuff. If it's kind of got a bit of emotions behind it, if it's kind of a bit crazy and a bit psychedelic and stuff like that, I like that too. But basically things like ballads, stuff like that. And I am a bit of a fan of heavy rock and heavy metal and things like that as well. But generally speaking, if it's got some kind of like lovey, kind of emotional thing going on, I'm all for it. Now, when it comes to games, I tend to listen to music that is bouncy, catchy, that kind of thing. If you go back to like the Amiga days, I love games like Lemmings. I was really psyched by games like Cannon Fodder and Sensible World of Soccer because they had fantastic music, which was literally toe-tapping. And generally speaking, I'm a fan of games that have, you know, kind of catchy music, basically. However, I have to say that recently I've been listening to a lot more game music. I've been really self-conscious. I've been like really conscious of the music that I'm listening to in games. Now, there's an artist called YMCK. Don't know if any of you guys know him. I think it might be him. I can't remember. But YMCK does remixes of NES. He basically uses the NES, and he uses the NES sound chip to create like original tunes. Kind of games that are sort of steeped. If you think of like games and you think about the era of the NES, all his songs have kind of got that flavour to them. They've kind of got that style and things. I mean, even his albums are kind of titled things like Family Racing, Family Music, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of, he's got a lot of, it's obvious that there's a lot of love there for the Nintendo, for the NES. And I like that too. However, the question I'm going to ask you guys today is, have you or would you ever admit to dancing or singing along to a video game tune, be it modern or retro? And one of my favourite songs of all time to do with games is a song by a band called Jaywalk, and it was written, I believe it was written specifically for the game, I'm not sure, but it's the Road Avenger theme on the Mega CD, and the song is unbelievable. In my opinion, it is probably one of the greatest songs ever to be committed to video games. It's a complete combination of everything that I love in a song. It's got your ballady kind of thing going on. It's written for a video game. It's genius. If anyone knows anything about Jaywalk, I'd love to know about them in the comments, because I don't know if they do other things of a similar nature, but as a song, it is unbelievable. I am dancing, singing, whatever. I am all over the place. As soon as I see it, it uplifts me and it makes me feel so much better. And it's a song that takes me to a place that I used to, well, it just takes me back to an era that I get a lot of nostalgia for. And apart from that, it is bloody amazing to listen to. Now, obviously, we have songs that we've all listened to, maybe like dance tunes that we can maybe dance to. But there's a game called Puyo Puyo Da on the Dreamcast, and if you're into your games, you'll know that Puyo Puyo, the Puyo Puyo series, is basically Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. So if you're familiar with that game, you'll know what it is. Basically like a puzzle game, and you think of it, it's kind of like columns and Tetris kind of thing. You basically match for like Puyos, they disappear, and so on and so on and so on. Very simple, very addictive. It's a classic, and it's out on just about every system known to man. That's an exaggeration, but you get the point. Anyway, Puyo Puyo Da is kind of like a dance action rhythm game. using the Puyos and using characters from the Puyo Puyo series. It's a fantastic game. For some strange reason, even though it is basically just a rhythm action game in essence, it's got a really amazing competitive streak to it, because you basically take turns either between you and the computer, or you and a friend, basically battling it out, trying to bust the moves basically. The songs, every single one of the songs in that, barring like maybe one or two, are awesome, and they're really danceable. Fantastic. They're not like pop songs, I don't think. I'm pretty certain they're not. They're just like songs from like compile games and Puyo Puyo games. And they're bloody awesome. And I am literally dancing to them. And even though the game isn't specifically a dance game, it's basically just a game where it's like a rhythm action game. I'm just dancing away merrily, loving it. I will admit quite freely and openly that I dance like a crazy man whenever I hear some really cool songs. I mean, I'm looking at around sort of like the Saturn era. Those games the games that I remember didn't necessarily have danceable tunes as such, but they had tunes that made you want to sing. Nights into Dreams, the ending for that is fantastic. The credits roll, I think it is fantastic. I love that, and I get a massive kick out of it, to be honest with you. It really does uplift me, even though the song's kind of very mellow and chilled. And if there was any way of doing some kind of karaoke involving video game music, I would be up on that dance stage. I would be on that stage and I'd be singing my heart out. That is a fact. For me, there are a load of tunes that I can listen to independently of the game and get something out of them. There are some games that have hideous music. Crypt Killer on the Saturn and the PlayStation has absolutely shash music. I hate it. It's just awful. It's ear-piercingly bad. I'm not a big fan of some of the 3DO games' music. There's some games that just have really bad music. There's a pinball game on the 3DO. Steve Benwick covered it, and it's awful. I think it's called Digital. Let's say it's called Real Pinball. Awful game. Bust a Move or Puzzle Bobble on the 3DO has hideous music for whatever reason. But there are some games that have like amazing music. For me, if you can tap your feet to it, if it invokes some kind of emotion about love or feelings or togetherness or something like that, I'll no doubt dance to it. I'll no doubt jump about and sing to it. So really, guys, I'm just going to ask you very, very simply, would you comment, or maybe even do a video response on games, music, video game music that you have ever listened to and enjoyed, danced to, sung to, whatever? It would be awesome, guys, if I could get like even a video response, some comments, maybe just about your exploits in that. It'd be awesome to find out what people like, because I'm all about this self-discovery. I'm all about discovering new stuff and discovering new music. There's a song. I'll leave you with this. There's a song on a little-known game. Well, some people might know it. Taiko no Tatsujin, and it's on. You can get it on the PSP. You can get it on the Nintendo DS. Pretty much any system. PS2, Wii. It's a Japanese game, of course, and it's basically a rhythm action game based on the taiko drum. Check out the taiko drums. They are awesome. The standard taiko drums are these huge monster drums where you actually literally sit on them or in them or around them, and you're basically like this. And the arcade version is basically just a mini version of that. So you've got these little taiko drums, and you basically beat to the song. And there's a lot of songs. There's like Ridge Racer remixes. There's a song which is like a medley of old-fashioned Namco games like Rally X and Dig Dug and that kind of thing. And there's songs that are like pop songs, which obviously don't count. However, there is one song which I think is classed as a pop song, but I'm not going to count it because it is, to me, in my mind, there's probably a million Japanese people that know different, but in my mind it's quite rare. And it's by the Blue Hearts, and it's a song called Train Train. Google it, look for it, try and find it. The Blue Hearts, Train Train. It is awesome. It's the best song. Awesome song. Absolutely love it. Think it's amazing. Love to dance to it. Love getting bouncy with it. On Jet Set Radio, there's two songs that you've got to listen to by Guitar Vader. One is Super Brothers, and the other one is, I can't remember the name of it. Magical Girl, that's it. Magical Girl and Super Brothers. Those songs by Guitar Vader rock and are danceable too. I totally love Guitar Vader anyway, and they are a legitimate band apparently. I've seen some of their stuff on YouTube, and they wear, I think the guy's got a horse's head on. Anyway, the song is awesome. You've got to check them out. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there because I'm just rambling on now. But basically, the question is, would you admit to singing or dancing to video game music? Okay. All the best, guys. Have a good one. See you on the next.